Joining us now is Tony Ray, who is a retired battalion chief from the Charlotte Fire Department and is going to tell us some tips for driving safely. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Now, this is something I actually had the privilege of hearing you speak about safe driving, and I found it really interesting. So let's just start with, are there current laws or things that people should know about with regards to driving?
One of the biggest ones is the new one that refers to texting. Our younger drivers especially, and we can't blame it all on them. Cell phones have become one of the biggest distraction that deals with driving. Cell phones have brought texting, and I think we'll see more laws coming down the road. Some states have gone with the hands-free cell phones. So right now, texting is the biggest new thing on the books when we deal with laws, and we want to blame it on the kids, but we can't.
Oh yeah, actually I see adults are like glued to their phones a lot of the time, and I see somebody who's not using their turn signal, or they're not going the right, they're going too slow in the speed limit, and then when you catch up to them, you see that they're just sitting there chatting away on the telephone.
The distracted driver is one of our biggest hazards we have. If you look inside the vehicles today, not just telephones, but navigation systems, stereo systems, trying to figure out where your heater controls are.
Right.
All these things have a tendency
Satellite XM, yeah.
Exactly. All these things have a tendency to take our eyes away from the roadway, and we get off task, and this can present problems.
Is it more dangerous driving now than it was 20 years ago? I mean, the speeds are higher, there's more distractions.
Speeds are higher, but it's kind of a two-part question. Driving part of it, the roads are safer, our vehicles are safer.
True.
The driver, when we get back to the more distractions, the driving, we probably aren't quite as safe as drivers. We have more of a tendency, or more things that will distract us from driving. They keep making the road safer, they keep adding more laws, they keep, vehicle safety has improved dramatically. We look at the number of traffic deaths, they've dropped significantly over the last 20 years.
So they have. So
Oh yes, they have. But a lot of that is due to the car safety, things like that. DWI laws are more significance put to that. These have helped. Car design has helped. Highway design has helped. We want to have a fit about Interstate 77 and how dangerous it is, all the traffic. But if you look in design of Interstate 77, separated roadway systems, controlled access on and off, they've done the best job they can. We're the ones that have a tendency to let off. Following too closely, look how well you'll guard that little bit of space. Right.
So for new drivers, a lot of us have kids that are almost driving.
Yeah, my oldest is 13. I've got a couple of years. But
Bless you.
What do you teach when it comes to new drivers, like as a parent or?
And the key word, you just hit it, is parents. We spend our first 14 years sitting where? In the back seat, watching what mom, dad, or the guardians are doing. So the best thing is by example. Kids learn totally, or children learn totally by example. And we want to say, do as I say, not as I do. Right? So the best thing you can do is put that example in front of them. If you're going to speed everywhere, if you're going to push a stoplight, if you're going to road rage, you're going to scream and yell at everyone, or you're going to run late all the time, don't expect anything differently from your children. That's the biggest thing.
That's a really good point.
That's a very good point.
And they do pay attention too. My kids watch the speedometer. They ask questions about road signs.
I know. I've got my son always saying, "Mom, you're out of gas."
Yeah, if he's 13, if you think most of us started in our day in a child seat, and we had a little red steering wheel, a little yellow button, and all that, and we tried driving then.
Yeah.
And so they've watched you, and now it's their turn, and they probably tried to correct your driving one time.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is by example as parents. Once they start driving, now the importance has changed again. I look for basically a few things with especially new drivers. Number one, seat belts. If they don't care enough about themselves, it's seat belts. Big time. You hit a key point. Turn signals. Are they being involved in the driving task? So turn signals are very important that they're doing that. Another big part is being involved in the driving task. Never forget the head check. Even as adults, when do we usually realize someone's in our blind spot?
Yeah, absolutely.
We hear the horn and it's I've offended somebody. These are the aspects and that's why I go back to the driver is the most important part of it. It's simple. The driving task is simple. The driver is the complicated part.
Are there mistakes that you see? Like, I know you were in the fire department for a long time, so you've probably seen your fair share of accidents. What do you think the biggest mistake is that people make? Is it the cell phone? Is it following too close? Is it?
Following too closely, the distracted driver, and the other big one, especially with young drivers, is running off the right side of the roadway in overcorrection. Hands down. Don't think I'm crazy when I tell you, as a parent, when they start that learning process, go find a desolate roadway somewhere with a good soft shoulder, and the first time they go off the road, you be there with them, slow. And then make them see that if they run off the side of the road, they don't have to panic.
Right.
They have to react, but they don't have to panic. You want that controlled situation. So as a parent, you're part of that learning process. Be there with them the first time. So it's not the panic or the unexpected thing. Ease them off at slow speed, and then maybe a little bit more. But it's a good slow progression, so they learn, and they don't learn the first time. They have a carload of kids themselves.
Just to kind of finish up, because we're almost out of time, but do you have an opinion on what kind of car would be a good car for a new driver? Because a lot of these parents have these big SUVs, or I started driving a little Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, I had a little Toyota 5-speed, roll back and forth, and my dad took me out and roll back and forth on the hill,
Yeah.
We have a tendency as new parents to think that we need to get the biggest tank for them to be entombed in, but no. Actually, the vehicle design, like I said, over the last 20 years, the vehicle design is incredible. You want a vehicle that airbags, they're the best thing we have going. Airbags, another big thing in technology today is electronic stability control. You're looking at kids and they're driving, this helps make up for our mistakes. If a car starts slipping, or the brains in the car is a lot better than ours. They register that something's not right, the vehicle actually takes over and helps control it. The internet is a powerful resource. Go to your favorite Google, go to your favorite search engine, put in vehicles for teens. Best cars for teens, and there's a big selection in there. There's been a lot of studies and reports done, and you're going to find it's not necessarily a big tank. The vehicles today are designed to absorb energy, designed for crashes. And we make a mistake as parents a lot of time to buy them what little Johnny or little Debbie wants. That's not a lot of the time our idea.
Right.
Our parents didn't do that for us.
No.
Right.
Right.
No. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of good advice, and I really
Thank you for
appreciate you
having
taking
me.
the time to come out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.